and the year after that, and the year after that again, this map turns to green all over. Let us do what we have to do to ensure that we have strong professional accountancy organizations that are well regulated and that look after the public interest. We know that this requires self-assessment, it requires an understanding of the maturity of the various professional accountancy organizations, and us to partner with everybody, African Development Bank, PAFA, IFAC, all the development partners, to ensure that every single PAO moves up the chain and no one is left behind. Second key point is to think of continental solutions and to realize that if you think in isolation as one of the 53 countries of the continent, you will certainly not be as effective in figuring out what the path forward is going to be as if you look around and think of what neighbors around you can help you do together. I think there are some good examples on the continent in terms of sub-regional cooperation. We've heard about the East African Community and the mutual recognition agreements that are happening. We've heard also about what is happening in the OADA countries, the 17 French-speaking countries of the Organization for Business Law Harmonization in Africa. There is a silent revolution going on. These groups are starting to work as one. Let us help foster that coordination and that cooperation. Let us move from the sub-regional to the regional level. And PAFA, of course, can be a leading force behind this movement, where we foster intra-regional trade, sharing of services, and we grow the overall size of the accounting and auditing market for everybody's benefit. Third and final thought, who are we leaving behind? Who are we leaving behind as this continent is rising? Is it the fragile states? There are about 22, 23 fragile states in the world. The majority are on this continent. From Guinea-Bissau in the northwest to Libya, from Somalia down to the south of the continent, there are many countries that are struggling to exist as a nation. We have a responsibility to carry them along with us, to help them as a profession build an accountable, transparent state institution. We have a responsibility to ensure that the state is able to start delivering services and the cycle of trust of citizens starts to operate. Who are we leaving behind when it comes to women on this continent? There was a fascinating session on women in the accountancy profession, and Asma was able to show some very revealing statistics. 10% of women in the profession in Morocco. The maximum was 44% in Lesotho. Not a single PAO had parity, 50%, when half of humanity is composed of women. What a waste of talent in our talent pool when we're not tapping into the full potential of all these young girls, women, ladies who could contribute to the creativity and the development of the profession. Who are we leaving behind when it comes to sharing extractive revenues? Are we ensuring that they benefit to the whole nation, or are these being captured by a small elite in a non-transparent and non-accountable manner? Again, the profession can play a role to ensure transparency, to ensure that the proceeds from the riches that are being discovered underground, those that exist already in countries like Nigeria or Angola or Equatorial Guinea or Cameroon, those that are being discovered in Tanzania, in Mozambique, in Uganda. These are such a blessing for the continent, but how can we ensure that they are being invested for the future, that they are going to be benefiting our children and our children's children, that they are going to be translated into financial capital, into human capital, into physical infrastructure, so that our countries grow more quickly and so that prosperity trickles down. Again, the accountancy and the auditing profession has a critical role to play. So, as we reflect on these 3 days of exciting debates and strong partnership, let me thank again the organizers, MIPA and PAFA, for inviting us. Thank all of you for the excellent exchanges we've had within the sessions and outside. And let me leave you maybe with one thought inspired by JFK. It is to say that you shouldn't ask yourself what your continent can do for you, but what you can do for your continent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renaud. Now it's time for Olivia Kirtley to join us on the stage.
Thank you. You're very kind. This has been a marvelous week. I have been so impressed. We came into this Congress with a very clear picture of what I would call the what. The what is we in the profession have long understood that a strong accountancy profession is foundational for a thriving economy, for transparency, for accountability, and good governance. But what we're walking away with is very much of the how. It's one thing to know what you should do, it's another thing to know how to do it. And the richness and the quality of the speakers and the dialogue here have been so impressive. This Congress has provided some incredibly valuable insights into how the profession can be a change agent for Africa, how we can provide leadership to convert its economic growth into a better future by building accounting and management capacity in both the public and the private sectors, by introducing information and accountability and transparency, and by capitalizing on the rich resources of Africa, both the human capital resources and the natural resources. So we know the what, we know the how, but what is the way forward? It's really going to take some hard work. Anything worth doing normally takes a lot of hard work, but we know that the reward is very, very rich. We must commit ourselves now to being part of the solution in the advancement of all of Africa. The talent in this room, the very fact that you are here to learn about this, to participate, to connect, to enter into the dialogue, means that you are committed to finding a way forward. And I hope that you are going to walk away with some very essential truths about how that can happen. First of all, I think we've all learned that professional accountancy organizations are essential to moving us forward. And the more that we can do to strengthen and progress our professional accountancy organizations, the better our success rate will be in moving Africa forward, to support, be trusted advisors to our government, support highly skilled, ethical accounting professionals that act in the public interest. But everything requires leadership, and you are leaders. That's why you're here. And so it's a personal commitment on everyone's part to be a leader in doing this. The profession in Africa, we know, needs to evolve and grow and to build capacity. We've heard several times about the number of accountants in Africa as compared to the number of people in Africa and the concentration of the accountants in just a few countries. So we know that one of the things we have to work on, which has been referred to, is building and attracting the best and brightest into the profession in Africa. We have to make it attractive. We have to make the people feel like that they can make a difference, and we will help them do that. And we have to do that by attracting people from the entire talent pool, both the men and the women, and enabling them to help Africa grow and be strong and be vibrant. We need to build the capacity in every section of the profession too, in the public sector and in the private sector, in the small and medium enterprises, where we can help them grow and reach sustainability. And in many parts of Africa, one of my key takeaways, and this should not have been an aha moment, but it was for me, is that in many parts of Africa, the main growth engine is the government itself. And so therefore, public sector accountants will play such a critical role in helping the accountancy profession to be the driver of transformation and government development agenda, and will need to lead the way in developing good information to enable good decisions and to enable transparency. The ultimate goal, I think we would all agree, is sustainable economic development and to reduce poverty and inequality. The accountancy profession holds the key to achieving this goal. I'll just say on behalf of IFAC that we are extremely excited about working with the development partners, working with all of you, both in your country and as a continent, to achieving these goals. I urge you, there are a lot of great takeaways from this conference, and I urge you to carry this experience home with you and write down your own actionable items. Before you leave, before you get on the plane, write down those things that you can do, you can carry back to your PAOs. You, individually, can make a real difference. Leadership really does matter, so we all need to be committed to being leaders. We need to get involved. We need to seize this opportunity to accelerate the rise of Africa. We will be the key players in developing a stronger, more vibrant, brighter Africa now and for future generations. So I will close by simply saying thank you for being here. Thank you for giving your time, your energy, your ideas, your intellect to this process. And thank you in advance to all of you who will be part of building this bridge to a brighter Africa. Thank you very much.
The final takeaway will be from Asma, the newly elected president of the Pan-African Federation of Accountants. Thank you.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. I am very pleased to present the main takeaways for PAFA from ACOA 2015. But let me first start by saying that ACOA 2015 has been a great success with the attendance of more than 850 participants. Including African members, guests, and international guests. Such a number is fascinating, given that PAFA is still at its very early stage of development. And what this proves is the trust that and the confidence that our members are putting in PAFA, and also it proves that PAFA is among the priorities of our partners. This success has been made possible thanks to the organizing committee from MIPA and the PAFA CEO and his team. So a big thank you for the hard work and the long days. I would also like to thank our immediate past president, Dr. Moussa, for his leadership, as well as the PAFA board members, IFAC for their continuous support and implication in helping us with the growth of PAFA, our development partners, the World Bank and AFDB, for their commitment to PAFA, the eminent speakers, all the sponsors, including the platinum sponsor, Anan, and last but not least, all the delegates who have honored us with their participation. Now, how about the takeaways? Several takeaways of great relevance to PAFA have been covered during the Congress, but I will only mention a few of them in 6 points. The first point is the importance of public sector for PAOs and the role of PAFA. So there is a need to strengthen relations between the accounting profession and the stakeholders in the public sector, and PAFA will have to work closely with its PAOs to facilitate the development of effective engagement with governments. As some of the speakers said, accountants have the knowledge, politicians have the power of decision. The second point I would like to mention is the SMP Forum. So the IFAC Guide to Practice Management, as presented in the SMP Forum, was very well received by the delegates, so PAFA is encouraging its members to use it. Third point about regulation. The main message that came out is that regulation is coming to us, and it should cover the entire supply chain of the accounting profession, including accounting technicians. The fourth point I would like to share with you is the session on bridging the gender divide that I had the honor to chair, and I was very pleased to see the interest of the audience through their questions and comments, and also that a few men were present. So we have all agreed in this session that Africa cannot rise without its women accountants, and that we need action plans to bridge the gap in gender balance. A lot of work still needs to be done in terms of changing the mindset and the mentality of both women and men, building the confidence of women in themselves, and involving men in the subject. As Olivia said, this is a marathon, and we are only starting the journey through dialogue which must continue. The fifth point that I think is important is, it was mentioned by one of the speakers as well, is expanding membership of PAOs. And this is more of a special message to Francophone PAOs, which are limiting, most of them at least, are limiting membership to practitioners only. And I come from one of these Francophone PAOs. So these PAOs should consider opening their membership to all professionals working in companies, in public sector, and in other organizations. So as we all know, numbers do make the difference in terms of financial sustainability and influencing. Yes, there are challenges and barriers, but we must find how to overcome them, and PAFA as a platform can be used to open the doors. The last subject, which is very important to PAFA as well, is funding of PAFA. Tony's advice and tips on funding PAFA are very valuable to us, and as he said, without gas in the tank, we cannot go far. So we at PAFA level must be more proactive in searching for funders. We must look at corporate sponsorship and get our messages right to the donors to explain to them so that we are not traffic cops, but we are adding value through sound financial management. Now, last takeaway but not least, It's a takeaway from the great people of this beautiful country, Mauritius, and it is their warm and kind big smile that we can feel comes from the heart. So let us all not forget to smile, no matter what, and even in our sometimes difficult days. So once again, thanks to everybody, and I wish you all a safe journey back home.
Thank you for those takeaways. I have a series of announcements to make. First of all, we will all like to take a group picture of everybody who's here. So after the ceremony, I would like all of you to go to this, at the entrance on the stairs. The photographer will be here. I'm asking also all the hostesses to guide everybody to the stairs at the entrance. So we will take a family picture of all of you. Okay? We've been talking about women in the takeaways. I'd like also to announce that the International Federation of Women Accountants is holding a conference in April 2016 in Ghana. So mark it in your diary. International Federation of Women Accountants Conference, April 2016, Ghana, organized by the IGAG and the International Federation of Women Accountants. We have one of our gold sponsors, Intercontinental Trust, who has done a lucky draw. So there are prizes to get. So if you're here, you get your prize. The first prize from Intercontinental Trust. Maybe I have the gold sponsor around. So they will take the gift at the Intercontinental Trust booth in the atrium. Is Mr. Abdul Razak from Mozambique here? Oh. So, sir, you can go to the Intercontinental booth in the atrium. You will get a prize. Dr. Wesley Sibonda from Zimbabwe. Oh, good. Everybody's here. That's nice. And the third prize will go to Victor Nyazulu from Zambia. He's here also? Great. Great. So before also we go to the thank yous, I'd like to also thank the technical team, the logistic teams for the conference, 7amps, Plaisance Catering, and WeBe for all the animation. For the gala dinner tonight, do not forget to bring your badges. The gala dinner is at Villa Caroline. You've been informed on the screens of all the shuttle departure. So do bring your badge tonight. We do have a series of gifts for our guests. I would like to call Mr. Clifford Toe on the stage, the president of MIPA, to hand over some gifts. First of all, to Olivia Kirtley. Would you like to join us again? Professor Assad, Asma, and Patrick Kabuya. Professor Assad. Thank you all. Maybe a family picture, a souvenir photo. Don't move. Thank you. I'll keep Clifford on the stage with me. Thank you. Okay, I hope you've all enjoyed visiting the exhibition stand in the atrium. So we have awarded the Best Tent Award to SIPFA. So I do hope they're here. If they're not, just bring them to us. SIPFA wins the best exhibition stand, and big round of applause for them. No? We'll give them tonight at the gala dinner. I would like now to call on stage President Patrick Kagoro from Uganda, because as you all know, the next ACOA will be held in Uganda. Yes, announcing it. So we're handing him over. So symbolically, we're passing on the flambeau, as we say in French, to Patrick Kagoro from ISPAO in Uganda. And we really hope that we look forward to ACOA 2017 in, you're taking it on you. Maybe a few words if you want.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing here on behalf of the East African Community Institute of Accountants. May the East Africans please stand up. I'm here on your behalf. All of you stand up. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi. Say, karibu sana East Africa. Tunawatakia safari njema kwetu. That's it. We are welcoming you to East Africa. We are welcoming you to Kampala. And we thank you, MIPA and the President, for a wonderful hosting of the Third African Congress of Accountants. And we promise we will emulate your example and we will try to do, if possible, surpass your expectations. We thank you and thank you very much. We expect you in Kampala in 2017. Thank you.
The flag is upside down. Put it, yeah, put it here, this way. Okay. Take it with you.
Derek, the CEO, ICPAU.
It's Derek Nkija, the CEO of IPSAO. Okay.
Derek Nkaja is our CEO. My term of office may end very soon. I'm not going to change the constitution.
Yes, yeah.
I promise I will not change the constitution.
You're still inviting us in Kampala. Great. So for me, it will be a thank you on a personal note and professional note. I'm ending up my mission as a MC of the conference. It's been a very nice challenge, an exciting 4 days of my career, and I really hope that you've enjoyed what we've done here. And I'll let the thank you to Clifford.
I only have 2 words, no, probably more. The first, thank you for being here. Without you, there's no ACOA 2015. A couple of weeks ago, around probably 4 weeks ago, we were still shaking. We didn't really know whether ACOA 2015 will get off the ground. But as we learn the African way, next time we know better. Thank you. First of all, the feedback I've been getting, I mean, in terms of the topics we've discussed, which has been very engaging. I've had the pleasure of chairing one of the sessions, but unfortunately, I didn't have time to attend any of the sessions, but I will make sure I'll get that on video. But without the team who put it together, it would have been impossible to do that. And I would like to call on stage the people in the technical committee who have contributed to the contents of that conference. First of all, I'd like to call Vixen. Please come on stage. Thank you. See around? Vixen has been one of the driving force for the technical side. Secondly, I'd like to thank Patrick Kabuya for his great contribution to the technical side, and also the team at ICANN. President Chidi, please stand up. Thank you. Also, the team at ICPAC, who has contributed tremendously to the contents of this conference. President CPA Benson, are you around? Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank all the institutions who really contributed to bring the people here in Mauritius. It's really, we are quite far, quite remote, but to be able to drive such a crowd to come, there should be a good reason. And I'd like to thank all of you. There's the FIDEF, there's SAICA, Tanzania. I mean, you looked at the numbers previously, you saw that. And I'd like to really thank you from the deepest of my heart for bringing your team here and to contribute to this conference. Thank you. I'll also like to thank, in conclusion, the team who put it together. I'd like to call all the staff, the full-time staff, the organizing committee, the board members on stage. I'd like to thank them. Thank you. Where are they? All right, that's fine. In particular, I'd like to thank Marinwell. You know, we've really worked so hard for the last 3-4 weeks to put this conference together. It's without her, I didn't know what to do. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank again all our sponsors, Anand and all the sponsors involved in this conference. And it's really, without your support, we wouldn't have been here. Thank you. So on that note, thank you again for coming, and we'll see you in Uganda 2015. Thank you very much. 2017.